to Empowerment Moment with Dr. G. It's yours truly, and it is the last day of the month of November 2023. I am so grateful, and I'm sure you are too, to make it to this end of the year. There's just so many reasons to be grateful. And, earlier this month, we just learned that a number of people that we know dearly have passed on um, to eternal glory. Thankfully, they knew the Lord, so they're in heaven. But it just makes you realize how frail life is and how important it is to appreciate. And so we just also celebrated Thanksgiving. So I would say, I hope you had a blessed Thanksgiving. That was a week ago. We were able to see family and spend time with family, and so those are moments that we're able to appreciate all that we have. And so I'm grateful for all the families. I'm grateful for all the supporters. I got some great news today that one of grant applications that we put out for to support my goal and the work that we do. Senna, I didn't even get to share this with you yet, but we got that grant approved. So I'm just like, yay! To God be the glory. It's awesome when you and the person that nominated our organization. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for recognizing the work we do. Thank you for partnering along with us. Thank you for seeing that there are families that need the support. And because of the generosity of that company, we are able to continue to do the work that we do. So I'm so, 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 so grateful to all of you. It's been a month. Yeah, because last month I was sharing that we were coming up onto our gala event and we had such a great time. I look back to the time, the experience, and it was a fundraiser event. And to God be the glory, it was successful by the means that the people who were there were blessed. We had an amazing DJ Nick, a young man on the spectrum himself, and he did a fantastic job. And everybody there was so blessed by him. And it's just like those little small things, but it's big. So if you're a family member listening to me now and you're giving up hope on your child, I'm telling you, there's hope for every single one of them. So I want to just appreciate all of the supporters that came out, those who donated, those who were there. Thank you so much for believing in our work. Thank you so much for acknowledging that these in all life matters. Each person life counts. So I'm super grateful for your life, and I'm super grateful that you can be a part of our life journey. And if you were in the past the donor, whether you prayed for us, you encouraged us, whatever it is, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. Because 15 years of this journey and even taking care of my own son, and Nick is now not is a young man, but because of his life, we're doing all these great things. And so I'm grateful. I'm super, super grateful for that. So, Empowerment Moment has been an ongoing journey for the last 3 years. And I'm so thankful that a month after month, I'm able to share part of the things that are encouraging me, empowering me to keep pressing on and keep pushing on. So tonight I am so thankful that I can share some of a text that I was reading in the Bible. And if you've come across me, you know I'm a woman of faith. I believe in my Lord Jesus who died for me and saved me. And because of his life, I have life. And so if you want to know the reason for the hope that I have, it's because I placed it in him. Beyond that, I also know that there is a need to connect to people all the time. There's a need to continue to inspire, encourage, empower others. And so this is the assignment I've been given. And if you ever listen to me, you know that I always talk about how when I was younger, my dad always wondered, what the heck was he going to do with somebody like me who's always have something to say? Well, God gave me this platform, so here I am. But this past 2 weeks or so, the particular text that I've been really thinking about and reflecting on is in the book of Second Kings. And so today I'm going to talk about the theme of what I wanted to share in Empowerment Moment is what do you have in your hand? What do you have in your hand? In other words, you may be facing some challenges and you're looking around and like, yeah, I don't really know what to do. I don't have the tools that I need. I promise you that you have something. You're capable of being able to use whatever is in your hands. I need you to be able to reflect and think about, what do I have in my hands? So the story that I'm going to use as the illustration to get my point across is the story in Second Kings, and it's from chapter 4, 1 to 7. And a few weeks ago, I had an opportunity to share that story with the members of my church. And and in that text, I was talking about using the same story and talking about there's prosperity in hope, HOPE, holding on to possibilities every day. But today I'm going to take that same information and talk about, what do you have in your hand? And so this is a story about a widow. So this is somebody whose husband had passed on, somebody who just basically just like her back was against the wall. And, but her husband at the time served, so it's in today's context, to be somebody who served in a church or somebody who was higher up in leadership. And yet, when her husband died, she now came into realizing that she didn't have anything. She was a widow now, and they were in a lot of debt, a lot of debt. And the creditor had come to say, you know what, we're going to take your two sons as slaves unless you pay the debt. Now, back then, in that period, that was allowed, so if you couldn't pay your debt, they can take away your children and make them into slaves, somebody that will have to serve too. And here it is, the woman has lost her husband, and now she was potentially going to lose her children. And that's really what happens to all of us when we suffer a major loss. Sometimes it seems like, you've just suffered a very devastating disappointment in something called a diagnosis. Then all of a sudden now you're trying to figure out how you're going to start. And then you're being told, oh, you're going to need to pay a certain amount of money. You're like, where am I going to get it from? Right. So it's like bad news upon bad news is really what that is. So she goes to a man of God, and she goes to a leader and says, my husband was part of your team, and now we don't have resources anymore. What do I do? And the prophet called Elisha said to her, what do you have in your house? And all she said was, I don't have anything except for a small jar of olive oil. So at this point, the prophet tells her, go around and ask all your neighbors and ask for empty jars. And don't just ask for a few, ask for a lot. And then come back into your home, shut the door behind you and with you and your sons. And then pour the oil that's in your little small jar into these big jars that you've gone and borrowed. And as each one is filled up, put it to the side. So basically, when she was being instructed to do something that will really require a miracle. Have you ever had a situation where you feel like that I don't know what else I'm going to do, but I need a miracle. I need something, right? So once the jars were filled up, so she followed the instruction. She followed it to the T. She went to her neighbor. So basically, don't be a person who suffers in silence. So she goes, and then the prophet tells her, sell all this oil that you have that you've filled up in these jars. So she did that and pay your debt. And then there should be enough for money left over for you and your sons. Well, she did it. And it's exactly what happened. She was able to have a miracle happen. So that's usually what happens. Is like when we have our back against the wall and we don't know what to do, yet we seek help. Guess what? Help will happen. I promise you, help will come to pass. It's very important that we know this. So, what are some of the lessons we can learn from this story? And I share this because it's coming to the end of the year, right? And for some of us, you're just like disappointed because the year didn't go the way it is. Maybe there are some progresses that you thought your child would make, and that didn't happen. So you're just at your wit's end. But I want you to think about this person who was really, really down and out, right? What did she do, and what can we glean from it? So one, the important here is that one point is that when you're in trouble, seek godly wisdom to gain a new perspective. So point number one is that you need to seek wisdom. You need to get perspective. You need to think about it. Number two, Think about, what do you have in your hand that you can use? What do you have? You have the capability. You're smart. Every one of us is smart. You're created wonderfully, beautifully. You're smart. You can figure it out. And if you're stuck, talk to somebody. So know that you can use what you have in hand. Number three, wherever you've been placed, sow there. The woman had a small jar of olive oil, and yes, she was instructed to pour it out. So the point here is that don't be stuck on trying to hold on to the last piece of what you have. So some of us may gain knowledge. We have knowledge about some things that can help somebody else's child. But we're like, well, if I tell that person, they will go use it, and then I don't want to I don't want to lose the opportunity. But no, it's really important that we share. That's the reason why I come here. And if you know me, I'll be the first person that will tell you, if I find out information that has helped my child, I'm going to tell other people. So I want you to think about it this way. When your back is against the wall, there may be temptation to hold on to what you have. Actually, that's the opposite. You're called to want to sow, meaning that you're called to want to share. You may say, I don't know when I'm going to get help or but that is, you never know. It's the time when you're talking to other people is when you're going to discover that, wow, this is really, 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 really important that I share. So I want you to just think about it for a minute, that I am going to sow, I'm going to share, I'm going to be a tool, I'm going to be able to, it's a decision. You have to make up your mind. No matter what's coming at me, I'm going to share. Number four, the woman became a distribution channel. So when she now took this little jar of oil, you know what? She now was able to take it and then pour into others and pour into others and pour into others. Do you know that your experience, no matter how bad it may be, will be a blessing to someone, because there's some things you've learned how to navigate, how to be resilient. That will be a blessing to someone when you share it. And number five, she didn't just depend on her own supply. She went to talk to her neighbors. They invested in her. They invested in her plan. They invested in what she wanted to do. She wasn't afraid to ask for help. If you are there today, your child needs help. Seek it. Look for it. Ask for it. Really, really, really important. Ask for it, because it's important that you do that. And you know what? She was able to quickly sell what she had because everyone needed what she had. Isn't that amazing? There is something to be said about when your back is against the wall doing research. Once you start saying, okay, I'm going to go look it up. And, thankfully, we have Google now, and now we've moved into the next generation called AI, artificial intelligence. Or, you can ask Siri the question. You'll get answers. It may be a lot to sift through, but there is always a solution. There's always a solution. You may say, I don't know where it is right now, but it's a solution. God will give you the solution. He will give you a supernatural abundance. That's what happens to this person, right? So that's why I like to share these type of stories, because you're really powerful. You look at it, you think about it, you're like, I can apply it to my everyday, right? So out of her need and out of understanding that I need to go talk to somebody, that situation was turned around completely. Completely. Situation was reversed, situation was transformed. She was able to go from the place of lack to the place of abundance. She was able to go from the place of being depressed, overwhelmed, like, what am I going to do, to the place of joy. That could be your story. So if you feel like your back is against the wall, I'm asking you, look at what you have in your hands. You have intellect. You have capability. You may not feel that way right now, but it's there. You have the resources and provision that God will make available to you. So use it. So now remember, this woman owed a lot of money. It wasn't her fault. And sometimes some things happen. It's not your fault. But, you may have spent a lot of money on the therapies, the treatments, the this, the that. And now you get to the place where you're just exhausted. There's nothing else left. But don't give up. It may mean taking a pause It may mean taking a break for a minute, but then you then will regroup when you're not connected with other people. Sometimes it may be shared resources, So the woman, she used what she had in her hand. Despite how weak, despite how scared she might have felt, God allowed her to turn her biggest challenge into the greatest miracle. And you and I can really, really, really walk that fine line. I can't tell you how many days that I'm just like, wow, I'm overwhelmed, because the responsibility is tremendous. I'm doing this, I'm doing my daytime work, we have family responsibilities. And you look around you and you're like, whew, but grace, something called grace. It happens. So I shared this story, and hopefully you're taking something out of it, that you got something in your hand. Use it. So be encouraged today. In your place of weakness, you'll find your greatest strength in God, And I will leave you with this text of scripture. And it's 2 Corinthians 12, verse 9 and 10. And it says, and this is this man called Apostle Paul saying, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, most gladly, I will boast in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasures in my infirmities and reproaches and needs and persecutions and distresses. For when I am weak, I am strong. So what am I saying to you today? God's grace will carry you through. It will give you the wisdom. It will let you take a pause, take a breath, and realize that, you know what? You got this. You can do this. You can press through. You can press forward. It's one more month to the end of the year. It's not all over for you. It's not all over. It's just the beginning. It is just the beginning. So take that little piece of what you have and watch it grow. It's called confidence. It will grow. It's called wisdom. It will grow. And all you have to do is trust God. It will make it happen. So I pray and hope today that what I've shared is a source of encouragement to you. And my goal is this: to support families facing autism and other intellectual disabilities throughout their lifespan. And we do that by providing connections and providing resources. Now, the resources comes in the form of wisdom like this, where I'm just saying, hey, you got this. Connect to other people. Resources come also in the form of community. Connect to the community. It's really, really, really important. Don't suffer in silence. So with that said, I want to share our upcoming events with you. We have a holiday party coming up on, so now what day is that again? December. December
the
10th.
10th.
December 10th, if you're in New Jersey, we want you to join us. We're going to be in Carteret. We're looking forward to having a fun time. And then we're also going to have our social hour live also coming up. So we're going to also have that event. What date is that event?
December the 9th.
December the 9th. Oh, wow. So we're going to have a fun weekend. So December 9th.
Yes, we will.
We're going to do the social hour live. We're going to be in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, Hamilton, New Jersey, rather, excuse me. And December 10th, we're going to be in Carteret. So we're a little bit in Central Jersey area. And we're inviting you. So we're going to have Santa Claus. We're going to have activities. We're going to have a lot of fun. The DJ Nick will be there. It's going to be a great time. And it's done for free. So if you're family, please check out on our website. You can log in and connect to what we're doing. And I know you'll be blessed by being there. If you have any questions, email us at info@mygoalinc.org. And we will respond to you and answer any questions you may have. So on that note, I look forward to seeing you back here on Thursday, December 28th for Empowerment Moment with Dr. G. I know that we'll be having a great time between now and the end of the year with all the activities that are happening, but be careful, take care of yourself. And at the end of the day, remind yourself that you have something within you to do great things for God and for the community around you. And above all, if you're a special needs parent, know that you're valued, you're valuable, and you're beyond valuable. You are going to continue to make an impact in the lives of those around you and for your loved one. So be encouraged, be immovable, just always keep pressing. I want to thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening in. If you catch this recording later, I hope you're empowered and encouraged. Stay strong, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.